Fine, fine. I guess it's time to cover Tim Pool. Not that I really want to. Jesus. Okay, you know what? Tell you what, for the suffering that I'm about to have to undergo, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you haven't already, because we know we're in for a terrible time. Do all that fun stuff. Hop in the Discord if you haven't already. Like, literally anything to make what I'm about to have to do somewhat more worthwhile. Come on, Tim. Come on, Tim. Let's hear.
When it comes to...
Apparently, women need to allow themselves. Also, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kaz, for gifting a tier 1 sub to the Legalian. But apparently, women need to allow themselves to be feminine when dating, and feminism is wrong. Alright. I guess we'll see what the hell this is about.
Dating, I tell women, it's okay to be feminine. It's okay. No, you don't have to pick the restaurant. You don't have to offer to pay. The man knows what he's getting himself into. He's prepared. We know what this is. It's a dance, and it's okay. Now, it doesn't mean...
Tam and Bake, thank you very much for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Zando, Mikpod, DJ, Miska, and Gregory. Thank you so much for gifting a whole bunch of subs. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is amazing. Okay, let's continue with this.
You never reciprocate other way, but let him court you. Let him give him the opportunity to show you why he's worthy of you, because that's what he wants to show you. Don't say, I don't need you to help pick the wine. I can pick my... You know what? It's wine, unless it's Chardonnay, because I really hate Chardonnay. It's okay. You're not going to die from the fact that he chose this Cabernet Sauvignon. Just let him do it. It's okay. He wants to give to you. In fact, a great way to turn men on is to ask him to help you.
I kind of feel like...
So, wait a minute. Hold on. Is this unironically trying to hand Tim Pool dating advice? I don't think you're going to be able to help a lot there. Sorry. But no, in all seriousness, this idea that, like, men need to take the lead in conversations where women are concerned, it's confusing. The idea that either person should normatively take the lead in dating is just an appeal to tradition, and I don't like it. I feel like it's literally just being stuck in some old way, or just arguing about, like, how you would prefer a date be when you say stuff like that. Now, I'm curious as to why Tim says that feminism is wrong in here. Let's hear his point. Let's hear his point.
A lot of this has to do with, at some point, there was a fracture in our society that resulted in 2 different factions, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. We have the culture war today. A lot of people trying to figure out if it's left versus right, nationalist versus globalist, or authoritarian, whatever. And when I hear stories like this, you as a guy, you never know what ideology the woman holds. Mm-hmm. And so are you even allowed to make a move on the woman as it is? So you mentioned the guys want to court you. Well, if you go to like a sports pub, you're probably going to bump into a guy who knows nothing about critical theory and feminism, and he'll probably start hitting on you. Mm. If you're in a big city, though, and you go to like a hipster bar, the guys won't go anywhere near you because you're not allowed to.
Right.
Who says you're not allowed to approach women in fucking, like, quote-unquote woke spaces? What? What is this from? What? Yeah, Pai Mei's got it right. It's an us versus them mentality, and I don't... What is this from? Now, maybe it's just that I don't go out and don't deal with the dating scene too terribly much. But as a guy who's polyamorous and has been in multiple relationships at the same time, and I pretty much walk around in what you would consider, quote, woke spaces, this idea is weird as shit to me.
So, I mean, you look at that video that went viral. You see it was 10 hours of walking in New York as a woman. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
So some of these things that were depicted as wrong was a guy saying howdy, or like nice day, or how you doing, and hello.
Wait, what video is they talking about? Because I haven't seen this video. I have zero context. I feel like Tim's misrepresenting what was in that video just because of my experience with Tim. And also, that just seems kind of strange. I'm not saying that he's, like, wrong de facto, but I'd like some context, and I currently don't have it.
Low.
It's terrible.
That's if that's the message we're getting from mainstream media, then what guy is going to risk his reputation, his career, and then even if he does get married, get divorced at some point, and then just lose everything and his kids? Society is currently being set up in a way that is telling men to do everything they can not to get married, and they're happy. No responsibility. They can sit around playing video games all day. I think it's...
Wait, Tim, hold on, you fucking dipshit. Do you think that all relationships necessarily have marriage? Wait, are you unironically fucking stupid? Everybody in the chat, raise your hand if you're in a long-term relationship of some kind, or have been before, that did not involve marriage. I want to know, like, what... Because I've been in several long-term relationships that have not involved marriage, where you have responsibilities. The idea that marriage is the magic fucking thing that causes all of this is absurd. Sir Isaac apparently has the video. Okay, hold on. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. 10 hours of walking in New York City as a woman. Okay? Okay.
What you doing today? That's not good. Smile. What's up, beautiful? Have a good day. Hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? Somebody's acknowledging you for being beautiful. She's an everything.
Okay, so the stuff that's actually bad here so far is actual fucking catcalling. And also saying that you should say thank you when somebody compliments you. No, when you're walking around in public with absolute strangers, you owe those strangers nothing as far as, like, outside of the consideration that you don't want to invade their spaces, right? Yeah, and see, that's fucking weird. That part's fucking weird. What? Why would you look at somebody in broad daylight, outside, just like, oh man. You're literally fucking horny posting on Maine, but in real life, that's creeper as shit.
Hey, beautiful. How are you this morning?
Where's the... Okay, so how is any of that seen as bad? Like, I'm waiting for the framing that stuff is bad.
God bless. Sexy, American Eagle.
Hello, good morning. God bless you. Have a good day, all right?
And see, this part's fucking weird. That's creepy as shit. This part literally looks like stalking. Tim, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? There is some yikesy shit in here.
Doing good? Hey, look at that. It's $5,000.
Yeah, no, that literally half the people here are objectifying her.
You want to talk? Hasty? Huh? We can't be friends or nothing? You want to speak? I'll give you my number. You can talk to me?
And that is called harassment. Literally, that she's ignoring you. If she's not responding, then maybe stop trying. What?
No? Too ugly for you? What's up, man? How you doing? Nice seeing you, dog.
100% plus instances of verbal harassment took place within 10 hours involving people of all backgrounds. This doesn't include the countless winks, whistles, etc. If you want to help, please donate. Okay, yeah, so Tim, if you can't see how some of this shit is not okay. Also, nobody said howdy. Nobody said fucking howdy in there, Tim. Nobody. Oh my god, I hate when my keyboard does this. So Tim just misrepresented that entire video to make his dumbass point. And apparently he doesn't realize that you can date, be in a long-term relationship, and not get married. Oh, and by the way, even if you do get married, you have the ability to engage in a prenup. So you don't lose all your shit.
It's bad for the spirit and in the long term, the purpose and you know, of our society. But I think this is just another factor that's resulting in the collapse of American culture and Western culture.
People not dating the way you think they should means the collapse of Western culture? Okay, Tim, I have consumed a small bit of your content, not a metric ton. MPH2897, thank you so much for the follow. You are super awesome. But hold on, I'm just so confused here. Tim, is your whole brand just finding insert thing here you disagree with and then following that up with this leads to the end of American civilization as we know it? Is that your thing? Is that your whole brand? Is that just what you do? Because, like, if that's the case, how many times do you have to say X is leading to the collapse of civilization of some variety? And then when that culture, when that civilization, when that world never fucking collapses and it just keeps on going and going and going, when that happens, is it like you're the weatherman? No matter how many times you get your shit wrong, people will still come to you for expertise? Is that what happens, Tim? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Over, I don't know what it is. I don't want to say it's that we have too much freedom or anything like that, that we can choose to just self-gratify, right? Mm-hmm. You know, we're a wealthy, successful country, so we can play video games all day. We can drink Mountain Dew and eat Taco Bell and not have to worry about a thing. I don't think that it's our choice, you know, our ability to do these things. I think it's the pressures of it's.
How out of touch with the working class is he? I'm curious, because honestly, who actually has the time to do that? I write my own schedule, and I still do not find the time to sit down and play video games as much as I would like for my own personal enjoyment, and I write my own goddamn schedule. Who the fuck has this kind of time, Tim? What?
Man, I go back to, like, what we were mentioning earlier with doubling the workforce in a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. As soon as people were like, you know, we should have women in the workplace if they so choose, it became part of a movement that they should be in the workplace. Right. All of a sudden, then, you double the workforce without increasing demand, and everyone's competing and wages are dropping. Mm-hmm. Then they say, okay, we gotta...
Wait, Tim, did you just unironically make the point that joblessness exists in large part to women getting jobs? Please tell me I've misheard that. Please tell me Please tell me that I am not living in the world where Tim Pool just argued that women getting jobs means that joblessness went up. I want to make sure that I'm not strawmanning what you fucking said. Hold on.
They should be in the workplace.
Right.
All of a sudden, then, you double the workforce without increasing demand, and everyone's competing and wages are dropping.
No, his point is that wages went down because women started working. Women taking jobs made wages go down for every... What kind of madness? Tim, you realize that women working also allowed many different sectors to expand further, thus creating more jobs where these women actually had posts where they could be in? You realize that the job market does not sit in this stagnant fucking pool where there's 15,000 jobs in a geographical location, and there will always be 15,000 jobs in a geographical location. Like, We get less jobs sometimes, we get more jobs sometimes. It's not a stagnant number. Your point only works if the amount of jobs that exist is a stagnant number. He just unironically did the whole, they took our gerbs, except it's people with tits he doesn't like having it. Okay.
Then they say, okay, we gotta have a minimum wage to guarantee it, but there's still not enough jobs, so then some people don't have jobs. Once that happens and everyone's wages are depressed, there's a lot of other factors as to why that happens.
Yeah, but you're largely focusing... There's a lot of other factors, Tim, but you're largely focusing on women having jobs as the thing.
You have all of these factors building up over decades that result in a generation of people who are not compatible in terms of long-term relationships and families.
Yeah.
How did you even get to that point? How did that point even come out of your mouth after all that? How is that where you get... And the... Who are you even talking to that is now just nodding in agreement with that? I'm so confused.
No, it's depressing and it's sad, and I think that we are too focused on the narratives of how to be a woman means, you know, to be president of the United States, to be vice president of the United States, to be...
Who says that being a woman requires you to be president of the United States? Are the worms currently feasting on the gray matter in your brain? Is that what's going on? Confused.
the top echelon of everything. And I mean, all the power to every woman, and I certainly strive in my own career, my own life, to reach my potential.
But is your potential equal to or lesser than a man's? There's the question. Because if your point's going to be that your potential is equal to a man's, you just don't think that you want to get there yourself, then cool, fine, whatever. But if you're going to say your potential is less than a man's, based on the criteria of them being a man, then that's kind of dumb.
And I'm so grateful to live in a country that enables me to do that. But
there's always a but.
The truth is different than the narrative. And the truth is that most women become mothers. Most women want to be mothers, which isn't to say that there aren't women who are child-free by choice, and I honor and champion the choice. Everybody should do what they need and want to do. The issue is...
Why are you having to skirt around the point, then?
That men are feeling, and I hear what you're saying, why should I get off the couch? First of all, I can sext her. And because she likes me and wants my attention, she'll sext back, so I don't even need to take her out on a date.
Who thinks this? Okay, I got a question. In chat right now, which one of you fuckers are so lazy but also horny that you will just sext a partner, but then the idea of going and spending quality time with them in any way, shape, or form is just repugnant to you? Who does that? I'm sure there's somebody. I'm sure there's somebody who does it. I don't deny that this person exists. But just, I'm just so flabbergasted by the way this point is presented.
Never look a tulip in the eye.
Schwup32, thank you very much for the follow. So what is the question again? Sir Isaac, I don't honestly believe you. You've got 3 kids and another one coming. You've got the energy to go fuck, okay? That's just a weird point. Let's repeat the point real quick so that it's there for chat.
Off the couch. First of all, I can sext her. And because she likes me and wants my attention, she'll sext back, so I don't even need to take her out on a date.
Again, I'm sure there's somebody who feels that way. I'm sure there's somebody who does that. But if the conversation is going to be about how women in the workforce and everything lead to like large-scale societal collapse over time, I don't think guy sexts on couch factors into that.
Right, and if I take her out on a date, I mean, she's going to make me feel like I'm not a man because she's going to, like, not let me participate in...
I don't think that's an issue.
No?
What?
No.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim, because that was fucking nuts.
I mean, maybe it depends on generation. You know, so maybe older guys really want that. Me personally, I've never really cared much for if a woman was like, I want this. I'd be like, whatever, I don't care. Like,
right? No. Right. So, what women want? So, modern women want.
Modern women want. This is already going to be a hasty generalization fallacy. Modern women want is not a statement that you want to begin with. If you want any kind of objective truth to come out of that. I won a maths debate. Thank you very much for the follow.
Old-fashioned romance. Now, many feminists will say no, that's not true. But that's really what women want, and partly because they are working so hard. They are working hard in their career, those who have careers, right? They're working hard there. But also, they are nurturers. So they're working on their friendships and their girlfriends that call them upset. They're working in making sure their parents are okay, that their siblings are okay.
Guys do that too. What the fuck is this point? Is this biological essentialism of, like, social cues?
Their neighbors are okay. They do a lot because of their own innate sense of taking care of people and
again, are you trying to argue that's an exclusively female trait? I'm confused.
Taking care of the children in their life, etc. And they want to know when they're with a guy that all he has to do is just say, meet me at this restaurant at 7 p.m. That is like such a thing that women want. It makes them feel so good. So we got like, I don't care if she picks a place, like whatever she wants. Like, I mean, if is there a place like around the corner from her that I don't no care.
It's fun.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So you can care about what the woman is wanting, while also factoring in that she may want something different than what you want. Like, there's a line where you go on the one hand, you go, I don't care where we go, but I would also like to take her somewhere where she will be happy. And then there's the other side, the direct other side of that, where you do care where you go in exclusion of her. So say that say you're dating somebody who is a vegan, right? And you're not a vegan. You would like to eat meat, but you are going to go to a really fancy steakhouse that you know for a fact does not have meat, or does not have anything besides like meat-based dishes or like starch-based sides on the menu. It doesn't have something that is really well-rounded for her. And you make that decision deliberately because you really want a thick, juicy steak, but she will have practically nothing to eat there. That's the other side of that, where you're making that decision in complete exclusion of her. I want to figure out what her greater point here is, because the person on the one side, where they don't care but they want to factor in what the woman wants, they do care, but they care about doing what their potential date partner wants to do.
Funny, it starts to sound to me like feminism is one of the worst possible things for women in the long run, and one of the best possible things for guys in the long run.
How? Wait, what? How, wait, what? How, what? Huh? What? How, what? Huh? What? What does that? What does that mean? What? Tim, it is quite frequent that I find my brain fried by something you have said. But currently, I don't get it. Sir Isaac, step 1, date the vegan. Step 2, dump the vegan. Step 3, go eat a rare steak. Not even gonna lie, I would not personally be able to date someone who is vegan, mainly because, or not, rather, hold on. Vegan activist. That's probably closer. That's probably closer. Because that's probably what would happen at some point. Be like, well, you know what? I respect your decision. I respect your cause. I'm going to go eat some chicken tenders. But that is besides the point. That's besides the point. Tim, I'm going to get somebody in my comment section who's going to be super angry about that. But for people in my comment section, I'm not vegan, nor have I ever been, nor have I ever claimed to be. Fuck off. All right, Tim. Come on. I'm curious as to what your argument here is. Can we hold on? Let's make a prediction. Is he going to argue that feminism is good for men in the long run because by feminism existing, men will focus on themselves and their careers and better their world, and that because women require men for one reason or another, that feminism in the long run will cause them to be isolated and lonely and not be able to engage in coitus? I feel like that's where he's gonna go. I haven't seen the video in full. That's my prediction. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
From a very like, what's the right way? From a sort of mathematical perspective. So, guys used to have to work really hard, backbreaking labor. You know, wiping the sweat off their brow.
We still do that. We literally still do that, Tim. Tim. How out of touch with modern day work are you? That still happens. Construction workers, fast food workers, restaurant workers, factory workers, warehouse workers. These jobs still exist, Tim. They never went away.
Covered in dirt, going down to the coal mines. Now, they've got women working to support themselves, so the guys don't have to worry about it anymore. Women are they're not making the same demands of men in terms of, you know, sexual relationships. It's just go on Tinder and the guy doesn't have to worry about it. So now guys don't...
As if people don't formulate relationships after Tinder dates. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens enough.
Don't have to work. They've got all the time in the world because they don't have a biological clock in the same way as a woman. So
wait, I've always felt that term doesn't mean what people think it means. But I haven't done a lot of research on it, so I'm just not gonna comment.
they're sitting back with their feet up playing video games without a stress in the world. I'm being hyperbolic.
Sure.
But women are working. Mm-hmm. They're worried about how much time they have before they can, in order to have a family.
Right.
They're stressing about how to find the right guy. And guys are just sitting there swiping on Tinder while they're watching, porn.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, so wait, but do you not think women do that too? I know plenty of women who swipe on Tinder and just watch fucking porn. That's not an exclusively guy thing. I feel like literally every point both of them have made requires biological essentialism of some kind, requires hasty generalization of some kind. It requires a compounding of fallacies to come to these conclusions, and I'm just so confused. I am so confused. Also, Yasharu, I sincerely hope that you are finding yourself well here.
Yeah, so they're swiping on Tinder and watching porn at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
And they're like, what am I worried about?
Right.
I've got friends, I grew up skateboarding, and all of these guys don't care about anything. Mm-hmm. They will work a minimum wage job if it means that you can have 10 people in a 2-bedroom apartment, so they can work only a couple days. Mm-hmm. It's $100 a month for rent, and they can skate the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. That's all they.
Cool. So here's the thing. Let me go ahead and throw a point at you, Tim. Just a thing. If somebody does not want to engage in more work than the bare minimum, they are not the kind of worker that you want to force to work more, because they are not going to give you quality work. I can tackle this from a fully fucking right-wing, Protestant work ethic position if I desperately needed to appeal to Tim's, quote, liberal tendencies. I could do that. Where we just point out, yes, creating a world where lazy people can be lazy is good, because in the world where lazy people can just go be fucking lazy, people who actually have good work ethic will be allowed to blossom and engage in their work ethic even more so. Let them do their bare minimum if they need to. If that is the only thing that they are compelled to do, and they are happy otherwise, whatever. It's not going to lead to the collapse of fucking Western civilization, which seems to be every other video from Tim.
They care about.
Yeah.
And I look at the guys who grew up in, around me from my neighborhood and everything. Mm-hmm. A few of them, have families, but not by plan, you know what I mean? And then everyone else who kind of planned and worked and went to college, they're sitting back with their feet up, making tons of money. They have careers, and they're not worried at all. And you talk to them, and they're like, I don't know, when I'm 40, maybe I'll find a 25-year-old. They're not worried at all.
Right. No, and also because they don't have a biological clock and all of that.
Again, I don't... I understand that they're talking about a clock for, like, when to have kids, but at the same time, I'm not 100% certain if that is even, like, something that is demonstrable scientifically. I'm not, actually.
But, you know, you are a prime example of a guy who decided that wasn't enough, and you manned up your own life. Look at what you're doing, right?
He's being an embarrassment to himself online. He's starving his brain of oxygen by having smaller and smaller beanies, restricting his brain, so that the smoothness of it can somehow get dimples as it's restricted. Like, what? Also, yeah, the point earlier about, you know, these guys went to college and now they're here. Hasn't Tim made the point before that college is useless? That, like, college is a left-wing indoctrination center that largely creates, you know, worse and worse results for people, and people don't make money out of it because they go there and they get, like, gender study underwater basket weaving degrees. Hasn't that been a point that Tim's made, like, multiple times? I'm confused. I'm concerned. I feel as though Tim is... Inconsistent isn't the word. That's the result. Kaz, thank you very much for gifting a tier 1 sub. Thank you. But I feel as though it's less that Tim is inconsistent and more that Tim says what he thinks needs to be said for the current conversation at hand. And while that's a really pragmatic way of going about things, it doesn't let us have a really good idea of what his actual beliefs are. And that rubs me a little wrong.
You're the guy who said, no, this is not fulfilling for me to only skateboard or sit on the couch or...
Sir Isaac, yes, I am definitely 110% making fun of your degree. Yes.
Or Tinder porn watch, right? You decided that...
Tinder porn watch just sounds like a good radio talk show. Not even gonna lie. Atheist Brony, thank you very much for the follow.
No, I have potential. I have great potential. I don't even know my potential because I haven't even started it yet. And then you did, and you're still going, and you're still going. You're building a media empire, right? You're a man.
He's... Oh, Tim Pool's media empire. The empire that requires him to suck Nick Fuentes' toes. That empire. Okay. Tim Pool, the media mogul, everyone. Jesus Christ. By that logic, I'm creating a media empire. By that logic, because I do Twitch and YouTube full time. And that's been my job for a year and a half, though I've done it for more years than that. By that logic, I have created a media empire. Guys, I'm a bourgeois mogul. Guys.
And that's sexy to women. It is not sexy for a guy to be sitting on the couch, you know, swiping on Tinder. Women don't find that appealing.
So, when you say women, you are still engaging in a hasty generalization. I understand that in broad strokes, there are mentalities that are more congruent with the idea of what a man is, the idea of what a woman is. I understand that broad idea, but that is still a hasty generalization. If you want to say that women don't find that attractive, it would be more accurate to say you don't find that attractive. And there are many other women who don't. And there's a small subsection of women who might. In fact, actually, I know there are some that do. But, I don't know, I don't like hasty generalization. I really don't. It feels really useless.
But it works for him.
Well, it does and it doesn't. There's also a lot of men who are depressed. A lot of men who, you know, unfortunately commit suicide. A lot of men who are overdosing, who are aimless, and they're getting older, and they don't know how to get out of it.
And you think that women fix that? Okay, sure, why not?
And I'm hoping one of the silver linings of COVID is that men who are forced to be alone, that there was no other choice. Maybe life needs a little more meaning.
Okay, so I hate that point, but I also agree with it. And I don't like that I have to. Because there are hobbies that I have engaged in mechanical hobbies, hobbies that involve my hands, that I have absolutely loved, and I would not have picked them up if it were not for COVID. The Nerf gun thing, I would not have picked up and started messing with them and taking real firearm logic and trying to get them to be more accurate, more powerful. I would not have ever actually done that had it not been for COVID. So, yeah, like I get that point. I think a lot of people have picked up a COVID hobby. People have found something to give their life a little more meaning through COVID. There is that silver lining. I hate that point so much, but I also have to kind of agree with it, and that makes me feel really, really dirty. I have picked up 2 hobbies during COVID, everyone. 3D printing and fucking toy firearms.
And again, that's where a partner, a woman, or
sorry, 3D printing and toy firearms, not fucking toy firearms. There's gonna be fan art of that somewhere now, and I am terrified. Don't be responsible. Don't do it.
man in his life can help him get there.
Thanks for checking out this clip from.
I don't care about your plug. I don't care about your plug, dude. You've got a beanie, plug in your head. You're fine. You're cool. You're not cool, actually. I'm just gonna click away from you now. There you go. The studio has less Tim Pool in it. I feel like this is a marked improvement. Okay, so for those of you who are watching on Twitch, this is the time to discuss, figure out what your take on Tim Pool's take, and of course his guest takes were. Let me know what you think of my points in this as well. But if you are watching this in post, you're watching this over on youtube.com, then please do me a huge favor and let me know what you thought in the comment section below. As always, everybody, if you like my channel and what I do, please consider checking out the ways you can support it in the description below. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Follow on Twitch if you haven't already. That is at twitch.tv/NekoSuris. If you want to hear less political stuff and hear more video gamey conversation, then maybe consider checking out the Sunset City podcast. That should be linked below as well if I am doing my due diligence. That will take you to the podcast where me, Channel Pup, and Game Apologist are talking about things like Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega, and other video game-related nonsense that has nothing to do with all the terrible, terrible things we're dealing with in real life right now. With all that said, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Check out the Discord if you haven't already, and as always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here.